Hi there, it's good to see you. My name is Adedeji. It's going to be an exciting time today on the video today. We're talking about how to make a good presentation on today's video and how to improve your communication skills, how to make your presentation lively, and how to get your audience and how to catch your audience. So just stay with me on this video today. We'll be sharing quite a lot of exciting tips on how to make a good presentation and how to improve on your communication skills. So let me just share something, a little nugget with you that I have come to realize in the short time of doing presentations and working with the different teams on making good presentations. I've come to realize that it is one thing to communicate, and it's another thing to communicate effectively. These are two different things that you must understand. It is not all communications that are effective communication. It is one thing to say you want to pass out a message or say something to an audience, and it's one thing for the audience to actually get what you are trying to say in the process of communication. It is much more happy on the side of the person who is communicating when the audience understand what he or she is saying, and they can apply this information, they can apply this knowledge that he or she has shared with them, and they can make good use of the information. So when making a presentation, you need to understand that you are communicating both verbally and non-verbally. That is one thing you must understand. When you are making a presentation, your communication is both verbal and non-verbal. So you need to make sure your body language, the tone of your voice, and the words you are using or speaking are all communicating the same thing. It is one thing for you to be using words, but your body language is saying something different. You need to watch these things. Or it's one thing for you to want to communicate to an audience, and the tone of your voice is not communicating the particular atmosphere that you are in at that moment. You need to take cognizance of all these things and make sure that you are communicating effectively with the tone of your voice, your body language, and the words that you are using. So as much as you take time to prepare your speech or your presentation, your composure and delivery might sell more than what you have written down. That is a very, very, very important point. In as much as you are preparing your presentation, you are trying to put everything in place. How you deliver sells more than what you have even written down, because on the long run, you need to get to a place whereby you take on the skill of oratory, where you don't have to look into your book, you don't have to look into your computer to make a good delivery. Your delivery has to be genuine, it has to be credible, it has to be something someone sees your authenticity in what you are communicating, because on the long run, people have to understand that what you are saying, you mean what you are saying, and that is where the selling point is. So the delivery is very, very important as much as you prepare for your speech. Going further, I said your composure and delivery might sell more than what you have written down. There are two. I'm going to share some key strategies with you now, and they are called the ethos, pathos, and logo strategy. This has always worked for me as a speaker. You must sound credible, you must sound emotional and logical. That is what ethos, pathos, and logo strategy means in communication. These three key things must be in your speech when you are delivering a speech or making a presentation or doing even a sales speech. You must be credible, emotional, and logical when you are delivering a speech. So in this video today, I will mention three techniques to focus on while making a presentation or delivering a speech that will help you win in your presentation. Now, the first technique is the tone of your voice. The tone of the voice we use is responsible for about 30 to 40% of the message we are sending while we are communicating. The tone involves the volume, the emotion you communicate verbally, and the emphasis you put on the words you choose to use. So before you go into a presentation, understanding the subject matter and the audience are important on the tone of voice you are going to use. If you use a harsh tone in a matter that requires emotion, that can kill your chance of convincing your audience that you know how they feel. Now, let me give you an example. In a situation where you want to communicate to an audience that that has been emotionally battered or emotionally wounded, and you are going to use a harsh tone in that process, you have already killed the chance of them even getting the information you're trying to pass across. That's what we're talking about, tone of voice. So you have to be sensitive to the environment, the atmosphere, before you choose the tone of voice you use. Sometimes you have to talk softly. Sometimes you have to maybe put it at the mid-level. You have to just be sensitive on the tone of voice while you are making a presentation. Depending on the subject matter is also very, very key. So there's some subject matter that requires you to speak tough. There are sometimes the tone requires you to take it low. There's sometimes the tone requires you to be mid-level in the tone of your voice, the volume and the emotions you communicate in the process. So like I said, if you use a harsh tone that requires where you are supposed to be emotionally and soft-spoken, you have killed the chance of convincing your audience. So some subject matters are very, very sensitive. So please watch your tone while you are communicating, making a presentation, or delivering a speech. Now, the second technique is your body language. A speaker once said that majority of the message you are sending while you are communicating are non-verbal messages. Now, your speech can be great, but your body language is communicating something otherwise. So how you use your facial expression, standing posture, the gesture you make with your arms and hands, eye contact matter a lot in communicating or making a presentation. So all these expressions says a lot about who you are, what you are presenting. Now, body language is very, very, very important, because it is possible for you to be speaking to an audience and your facial expression says that I really can't wait to be done with this. Let me just do whatever I have to do and I have to leave. And that alone, for somebody who's reading your body language, might put them off. Now, the way you communicate verbally also matters. The way you use your gestures, the way you are standing, the way you are, everything about your body says a lot more than what your voice is saying sometimes. So you need to take note of this and be very, very cognizant of keeping an eye contact with your audience, making sure that they realize that you are also involved with them. Carry them along with your body language. Let them know that you are interested in delivering this message, in making this presentation, and they will actually be able to connect with you. Because one thing in making a presentation is that your audience has to be able to connect with you verbally and non-verbally. So your body language is another technique you can use to win in making a presentation. And the last one, which is the third one, is prepare the slide or presentation yourself. It is important that you know the subject matter you are presenting very well. Most people fumble during a presentation because they don't understand what they are even presenting. It is possible that you are a boss and they prepare speeches for you, but it's important that you read the presentation a day or hours before that presentation so you can understand what is written in it. So because a question can pop up in the middle of presentation and you have to provide an answer for it. In the case you don't have an idea of what you're even talking about, that is already a problem and a challenge for you. It can be very, very, very embarrassing to you when you are delivering a speech or making a presentation. So it is important that as a speaker, as an employee in an organization, as somebody who does presentation, that you have these three things working for you. There are quite a lot of more of them, but on this video, I'm just going to share these 3 points with you. The tone of your voice, your body language, and the preparation of the slide and understanding the subject matter helps you on how you communicate. So in a situation whereby you know the subject matter, you will know the tone of voice to use and you will know the body language to use. People read more of your body language than what you are saying in communication. So these 3 points are very, very important. If you can take note of them and make use of them in your next presentation, and you put more life into your presentation, you carry your audience along. Because it's one thing for you to be communicating to people and they are not even following the sequence, they are not following you, they are not involved in the presentation. When they are more involved, when you get their attention, it is easier to sell anything to them, it's easier to put a point across, and it's easier for them to understand you. So I believe this 1 or 2, 3 points I've shared with you will help you to understand how to make a proper presentation the next time you have the opportunity to do so. So thank you so much for being a part of this video. It's always exciting to share this video with you on the Afringa Academy, and see you in our next video in the Afringa Academy. Thank you for watching and stay connected to us.